going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Trick 10s. Today I am going to be showcasing this Weldbilt 1648. I just picked this boat up from a buddy of mine, got this thing pretty good deal, and I'm trying to pass it along to somebody else. I don't really have any use for this boat myself personally, but obviously I can build this and turn this into something fantastic. Now this is a 1648. The Project X was a 1652. The Neptune build was a 1548, same boat. Now this boat right here, it's a 2007. A lot of you are like, oh, that's really old. Yeah, it's really old, but it's built a lot better than the newer ones. If you were to give me the option to choose between a brand new 2025 Weldbilt and this 2007 Weldbilt, same size boat, I would go with this one. The new Weldbilt, it's about $5,000, but I would still go with this one over it just because of the way that it's put together. The welds are nicer in these. It's like they actually cared, they gave a damn about what they were doing back then, and they look a whole lot nicer. Plus, the other thing about them is up in this front V. The new ones, they slope down and they just look stupid. It's pointless for this thing to nosedive. You don't ever want your boat to nosedive. You want it to come up a little bit or at least be flat. This is nice. This thing's sweet. Somebody is gonna buy this boat. Hopefully we get to trick it out. Now the way it sits right now, it did come like this when I got it. I haven't done anything to it. He had somebody else build out the stuff in here and it really doesn't look that terrible. Did a pretty good job on it. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'm gonna show you guys what we got. I'm gonna show you some of the options of what I would do with it if I wanted to build this thing out. And then if any of you guys are interested, keep in mind that this is a boat that I'm going to be doing something with and we can build it on the channel. Let's turn this camera around and check this thing out. All right, guys, so check it out. It's got the old school Weldbilt logo on it. I don't know if you guys remember, if you've been following, that's the same logo that was on King Neptune boat. This is the short transom. It's got a 15-inch transom, so you will need a short shaft motor. You can see right here, 07. The quality of this thing is immaculate. I mean, it's night and day difference between this 07 and the 2025 model, 2023s. I mean, they just really fell off, but look what someone did here. Now you can see that this whole back area right here, he built these two big pieces. It really doesn't look bad. I mean, let's just get a whole overview real quick. So look, this thing has been tournament fished exactly the way it sits. It's got a nice little back deck area. He did put a floor in here. He's got a working live well, and he's got a front deck extension. I mean, this is actually pretty good looking. I mean, the welds on there, I'm impressed. Usually I see some bullshit welds and, well, these are halfway decent. So it looks pretty good. And the way he did it's kind of funky because he only gives you that little hole to get up in there. I mean, he could have opened that up and made it a little bit easier to get stuff in and out of there. Would have been more functional. But regardless, it works. And the guy that had this boat used it just like it was. He upgraded boats a couple years ago, gave this one to his brother or his son or something, and he just didn't use it very much. So he hit me up and said he would give me first dibs at it. So of course we picked it up. It's in great shape, it's a great hull, and it has tons of potential. Let's get back to what we were talking about now. Let's run through this thing real quick. So back deck area, it's not bad. He has a little deck in here, and the way it's set up, I was surprised at how sturdy it actually is. The way he did this, he brought the hinge back onto the actual edge of the bench about 5 inches. And what that does is it just gives it some more support. I mean, these are pretty simple, just a little pieces of channel in there to catch the lid. The lid is made out of 1/8 inch aluminum. Cut out, nice. This is a little unorthodox bracket in here that holds the center of it up, but it works and it's surprisingly sturdy. Now, one thing about these older boats, they have higher capacities. Look at that, 5-person or 650 pounds. Well, the new 1648s are less than that. I don't know exactly what they are off the top of my head, but I think it's 3 people, 450 pounds or something like that, something along those lines. I'm sure somebody will research it and drop it in the comments down below, but it's less than that. I'm damn positive it is. So look, and then inside of here, this is his face of the live well switches and stuff. I mean, it's been weathered, it's been sitting outside, but it works. Everything is hooked up, it's plumbed. He's got a recirc, and he's got a freshwater pump in. And everything has switches and stuff. I mean, it could be cleaned up for sure, but it does work. Don't really understand why this live well lid was split. That would be nothing to make a new lid for, but they cut this in half, and it's just weird to me. Like, why would you cut it? And you didn't even cut it in half. You cut like 4 inches off of it, maybe 5, but why? Is it just so you can leave this one closed and drop your fish in here so they don't jump out, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody has an idea. Leave a comment, let me know what you think this is for, but this is kind of dumb in my opinion, because it's sharp where he cut it off. It's not really doing anything that I can see except for making this weaker now that it's been cut in half. But we can put a new lid on there. The floor that's in here is not terrible. Now it does have some foam shoved up underneath the floor, and the floor is a sheet of 1/8 inch aluminum. Now the notch outs, obviously you can tell they're not super tight, but it works, and he can walk on it, so you know it serves its purpose. I guarantee you there's probably a lot of stuff stuck down underneath of this damn floor right here though, for sure. But we got a bunch of crap already in here. I don't even know what's all in here. A bunch of lures and stuff. But yeah, there's probably a ton of stuff up underneath this floor. And then that gets us into our front deck. I'm not really sure what happened here. And that piece is cut out for some reason, but I don't know. The way he put this together, he's got a seam in the center, but he put it together just like how the rest of the front deck is put together with a lip on the side, and it's really not that bad. I mean, honestly, if it just had a little bit bigger hole in the face of it or a hatch in the top of it, it would be a nice little storage compartment. Up here, this is where the original seat bases are at. And if you guys know anything about these weldbilts, well, the ones that they put in here, that they weld in, they just don't last. And that's exactly what happened to this one. It probably broke off on him, and he just took it out, and they put like a piece of board underneath of this. We've got some screws in here. We can put a patch over that, or you can put a recessed foot pedal tray right here. I mean, that's damn close to the front anyways, if you think about where it's at, and then, it's really close. Then he's got a bracket in here. This bracket isn't terrible. I mean, it's the way that I would make it for the most part. I probably wouldn't have put it like that though. I would have brought it to kick over a little bit more of an angle. I just feel like it would have been more beneficial. It would have left us more room up on this front deck if it was kicked over a little bit more. This is just a hole. He's got an access hole. I would just sheet over this. Don't need that. Same thing with this hole he's got up here for the hummingbird. Didn't give us a graph. Did give us this motor guide trolling motor. I think it works. I haven't tried it yet, but yeah. And then we've got this little seat he got in here. This thing has seen better days, but if this pole works, I might hang on to that. That's pretty cool. But now that you've seen the boat, well, let's talk what I would do to it. Look at these welds. These old welds from the 2000s, early 2000 models, they're nice. And I tell you what, looking over this boat, it doesn't have any dents or dings in it. I mean, it's been in fresh water only. It's dirty as hell, but literally pressure wash this thing, paint it, and it will look just like a brand new boat. I mean, there's no dents. No trees or branches fell on it. The sides are perfectly straight. It has so much potential. I mean, it's just really, it's hard to find these older model ones, but they have the nice welds on them, uniform welds. I mean, you've seen some of these welds and some of the newer ones, and they're just god awful. Look at that. That's like a 4-inch weld. Small, tight. These welds, uniform. tight little welds. I mean, they're not perfect, but man, they're so much better than the new ones that they're putting out now. That's like they just hired a bunch of Joe Schmoes and slapped a weld machine in their hand, and they have no clue what they're doing. But back then, I guess they had some guys in the shop that actually gave a damn, and they put out some pretty decent work. So, yeah, I don't really see any issues with the hull as far as the outside goes. Now, I did get up underneath the bottom of it, and I picked it up and moved it on the bunks so I could see if there was any corrosion or oxidization, and none. It's perfect underneath there. There was no pitting or anything. This has only been in fresh water, and it just needs a bath and a paint job and maybe a little facelift, and you could have a sick boat. I mean, it's crazy to me to think that this is pretty much the same. It's the same length as Project X, but it's 48 at the floor. Project X was 52, and then it's the same width, except it's a foot longer than the Neptune build. But it's got lots of potential. Definitely could be something cool. Now, what I would recommend doing to it, if you just wanted to get into it quick, I mean, you could take it like it is. You could fish out of it. If you wanted to do very minimal to it, I would probably redo this back deck. It's not terrible, but I just don't like it. I mean, if bare minimum, I would just take these hinges out and replace them with aluminum hinges. But if I were to keep this or really wanted to build it out right, I would do like we normally do with the boats. We put like a hatch and a bench, and then one big transom hatch. The back decks are pretty simple. I mean, you can't do but so much with them just because of the space allowed. So that's the way we set them up, is with the two hatches in the bench, and then the big transom hatch. That's cut and dry, simple. Now, this live well, if you want to keep the live well, replace the hinge on this little flap door, and then replace the lid on the actual live well itself, and the rest of this shit can just be cleaned off, scraped off, painted, turfed over, whatever. The floor that's in here, you could leave the floor. Now, it's got some screws in it, they got rust on them, so obviously we would take all those out, put this in with some countersunk rivets. I would probably take it completely out and clean up underneath of it real good before we put it back in permanently, but you could use this floor. And if you wanted to leave the floor in, what I would do, I'd recommend building some catwalls. That way it would come off of here and come straight up, or come at an angle and cap off. And that would basically connect the front deck to the back deck and just finish this off. Then you can use the same floor that's already there. You don't have to worry about stuff falling down in here and getting stuck in these sides. This little bench, more than likely, I would probably take it out. It's not terrible, but just the way that some of this stuff meets up over here, if you were to turf it, then it's going to look a little funky, but you could very easily just cut a hole in the top and drop a hatch into it, either the center or port or starboard side, and then just sheet over this face. It'd be a whole lot more functioning if you wanted to keep it like it is. I mean, in reality, you could just turf the whole thing and call it a day if you didn't want to put a lot of money into it. But if I were to redo it, I would recommend that we just go ahead and take this whole section out, because it's not really far enough back to drop a good enough hatch into it to justify the space for it. And in reality, it needs to come farther, and this part right here just kills me, because any type of turf is going to be weird in there. But all in all, man, it's a sweet boat. I got it for a pretty good price, and I will pass it along with a pretty good price to somebody else. And the price, you know, is reflectant upon if you want to buy it the way it is, or if you want to do a big build with it, then, you know, obviously I'll be more lenient with you. But I mean, it's going to be cheap, guys. We're talking under $4,000 boat and trailer all day long. You know, you want to do a build and we'll talk. But it is a cool little boat, and somebody is going to get this thing, and they're going to be able to call this their own. All right, guys, so here it is, 1648 weldbilt, old school boat, old school welds, even comes with a cat. Free cat if you buy the boat. Smokey, I'm sorry, we gotta sell you. I'm kidding. My daughter would kill me if I sold this cat, guys. She loves him. Smokey, what do you think? Somebody gonna come buy this thing, get a full build, check it out, make it the baddest weldbilt on the face of the earth? We can do it. Not that hard. Appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like, subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this project. If you're interested, leave a comment about that, or you can send me an email at professionalwelding@gmail.com. I'll see y'all next time. Let's get back to work. All right, guys, so here it is, man. It's an opportunity for one of y'all to own this weldbilt 1648. Now, if it was a 1652, it would be the perfect rig. 1648 is still very nice, though. You're only talking about a 4-inch difference in the floor, so that's very close, very similar. 16-foot weldbilts are probably my favorite boat of all time. They're very versatile. It's big enough that you can get out there and handle some bigger waters, yet it's small enough that you can still fish in a lot of these small ponds and reservoir type fisheries. Regardless though, a rig like this is hard to come by, guys. Now I know a lot about aluminum boats. The welded hulls are 100% the way to go in my opinion. These early 2000 to 2010 weldbilts were built differently. They just have a quality about them that they have lost. The newer ones, they're just not as good, and they are super expensive. A 1648 new is actually like $5,700. Just the boat, no trailer, no nothing. Plain Jane John boat. So I'm willing to wheel and deal on this boat if you guys want to get a build on it. Now, I didn't go into detail about how extravagant we can make it, but obviously if you guys are interested in this boat, you need to go check out the Project X series. You need to go check out King Neptune series. Venom was a pretty good series. I mean, I've built so many of these weldbilts that I know these boats inside and out, and the possibilities are literally endless. We can put anything in this boat that you want, regardless of how big you want to go with this thing. I'm not scared. I'll build it for you. Believe me, that's not a problem. I would love to turn this thing into the baddest weldbilt ever to hit the water. All you gotta do is find somebody that wants to do it. But regardless, if you're interested in it, hit me up. You can hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or send me an email, whatever works for you. I'm not hard to find, guys. It's Trick 10s across the board. I do appreciate you guys watching, though. Hit that like, subscribe button. Leave a comment if you're interested in the boat. I'll see you guys next time. We got some big stuff coming up down the pipeline. Let's get back to work.